Hi guys, it's Ali, your Saturday here on Bookish Days. This week we are talking about our top favourite books of 2012 that we read in 2012. But before I get onto that, I just need to let you know that this video today, this Saturday, is going to be my last video for a while on Bookish Days, as I'm going to be taking a break. My baby is due in 2 to 4 weeks, depending on if she's on time, and so I just really need my Saturdays at the minute, every minute I can get, for sorting things out and stuff. And then I guess after she's born, it's going to be a bit hectic for a few months, so I'm taking a break from Bookish Days, but not to worry, there's going to be various people lined up to cover my Saturdays for a while, so that should be good. And yeah, I will be back. I don't know when exactly, I can't put a time limit on it, but I would say probably maybe 2 months or so. So this is my last video for a while. So my favourite books of 2012, I have picked 10. Not all of them came out in 2012. In fact, I don't even know if, I think maybe just one of them did, because I'm so slow with reading. I'm so behind the times with stuff. I don't read new releases very often. But these are my favourite that I read in 2012. So the first is The Traitor Queen by Trudy Canavan. This is the third book in the Traitor Spy trilogy. That's the first two, which is high fantasy, adult high fantasy, and this is actually the 6th book written in this series, because there was a trilogy out before this called the Black Magician trilogy, and I absolutely adore every one of these books, and this very last one was fantastic. These are in no particular order, by the way, but my second one is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and this was recommended to me by Brad, our Sunday. He said it was absolutely out of this world, and so I took his word for it and I bought it with a voucher that I got, and I read this. I mean, the writing is not big and some pages consist entirely of pictures, so it took me one Sunday afternoon to read this, but by the time I finished I was a complete blubbering mess. It's just so emotional, and all I can say is read it and you will see why. Number 3 and 4 are Obsidian and Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I just don't know what to say about these books other than they are amazeballs. Oh my god, this hot alien is so hot. Uber hot. I mean, that's not the only reason that they're good, but you know, that has to be pointed out. These stories are so unique and different, and I zipped through both of them really fast and I enjoyed every minute, and I thought they were fantastic, and I now have the 3rd book, Opal, on my shelf, and I will be reading that next. Number 5 is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. And I read this in one day and I adored it. I thought it was brilliant, and I think I've said this before, but I'm not a big contemporary person, but this totally made me change my mind about contemporaries and start buying more, because I was so hooked with these characters and everything that was happening, and it's not even like anything major happens, it's just what happens to her when she goes to this school in Paris, and for some reason it was just unputdownable, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. 6 and 7 are also in the same series, and they are Hunger and Plague by Michael Grant. I read 3 in this series in 2012, and these two, all the books that I've picked, by the way, are 5-star books. So these two I gave 5 stars to, and they just are really epic chapters of this story, because it's one continuous long story. I mean, each book only lasts about 2 or 3 days worth of time, so I would class them as kind of a chapter of the story, and these two were both unbelievable and good enough to get 5 stars, so they're in my top 10. Number 8 is The Iron Knight by Julie Kagawa. and this is the fourth and final book in the Iron Face series. The Iron Face series is my most favourite young adult series ever. I go on about this series all the time, but I've never read anything so magical and different, and I absolutely love these, and I'm planning on rereading all of these in 2013 because I thought they're fantastic. Number 9 is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Another fantastic book, and yeah, I was blown away by this. It's completely different to anything I've ever read before. I can't even fit it in a genre because it's kind of magic, it's kind of not, it's historical, it's fantasy, but it's so different to anything I've ever read. All I can say is pick it up and give it a go because you won't regret it. It's a really, really well written story. And last but not least is Touch of Power by Maria V. Snyder. Now I love my high fantasy, epic fantasy, whatever you want to call it, and this falls slap bang in the middle of that category. It is epic, and there's so much good juicy fantasy storyline to it, and I was so thrilled when I read this. As I was reading it, I was just so into it, and I loved all the magic, and it's like a big journey that these characters go on, and I loved all the characters in it, and it just had me, I was glued to it. It took me about 2 days to read it, and I was glued to it. I could not get enough of this book and this story. And the second one has now just come out, what's that called? Scent of Magic has just come out, and so I need to get that and continue this series because this is really, really good high fantasy. So there you go, those are my top 10 books of 2012 that I read in 2012, and yeah, leave me a comment and let me know what were your favourite books of 2012 if you haven't already left one in a previous video, because I read all those as well. And I'll say goodbye for now, and I will see you whenever I'm back, whenever that may be. Thank you so much for all the nice messages that I get and comments that I get on my videos. It's really, it makes me feel really pleased, and I do love being on Bookish Days. I have such fun making these videos and being part of this collab channel, so I will definitely be back once I'm ready. So see you later guys, bye!